Wow, Benedict. One waltz, one glove, one mysterious woman in silver, and suddenly the self-proclaimed free spirit of the Bridgerton family is fully, undeniably down bad. Welcome to Season 4, Episode 2, aptly titled Time Transfixed, because Benedict Bridgerton has, in fact, stopped functioning as a normal human being. Let's talk about obsession, heartbreak, secret identities, and the universe's cruel sense of timing. Benedict Bridgerton. Artist, romantic, absolute menace. Picking up after the masquerade, Benedict cannot, and I mean cannot, stop thinking about the lady in silver. He doesn't know her name, he doesn't know where she lives, all he has is one silver glove and his imagination. So naturally, he does what any emotionally spiraling artist would do. He sketches her, over and over and over again. There is no Mr. Sophie Beck doodled in the margins because he doesn't even know her name, but Benedict is determined not to forget her face or how she made him feel, which means it's time for a search. Asking Violet for help? Absolutely not. Instead, Benedict turns to the Bridgerton he trusts most with embarrassment, Eloise. They strike a deal. Benedict will chaperone Eloise during promenades and events, helping her avoid suitors and public barfing if Eloise helps him identify the owner of the glove. Eloise, ever practical, suggests the obvious next step. Why not ask the one person who knows everyone's secrets? Enter Lady Whistledown. A dangerous game with gossip. Penelope remembers Benedict slipping away with a woman in silver, but she doesn't know who she is. So Benedict makes a bold and incredibly risky request. He asks Penelope to write that he is serious about marriage. The logic, if the lady in silver reads it, maybe she'll reveal herself. Penelope and Eloise warn him this will unleash every marriage-minded mama in Mayfair. Benedict accepts the risk. Spoiler, it does not work. He attends ball after ball, soiree after soiree, promenade after promenade, 6 balls, 7 events, endless small talk, and still no lady in silver. Eventually, Benedict gives up, but Violet Bridgerton does not. Violet cracks the case in 3 minutes flat. Violet notices 2 things. 1, Benedict is suddenly punctual and sober, and 2, Whistledown is hinting that an eligible bachelor has eyes for only one mysterious woman. Suspicious, Violet confronts Penelope, and when Violet Bridgerton uses your full name, you fold. Penelope spills everything. Then, Violet marches into Benedict's study, spots the glove, and immediately discovers what her son somehow missed for weeks. The glove has the Penwood crest sewn inside. 3 minutes, case closed. For a brief moment, we consider whether Benedict deserves happiness at all for failing to check the inside of the glove, but then he admits to Eloise that no one would really ever choose him anyway, that he's just the unserious Bridgerton, the rake, the free spirit. And just like that, we're back on his side. Penwood House, a dead end. Benedict calls on the Penwoods. Rosamund? Definitely not her. Pawsey, sweet, strange, dream-obsessed angel, but also not her. Still, Benedict is kind to Pawsey, listens earnestly to her bizarre dreams, and frankly, she deserves the world. Defeated, Benedict does what any sad, heartbroken man would do. He goes on an epic bender. Who is Sophie Beck really? While Benedict spirals, the episode finally pulls back the curtain on Sophie. We rewind. On the night of the masquerade, Sophie is scrambling to replace a mask Rosamund claims went missing, despite Sophie spending weeks making it. Sophie effortlessly creates a new silver mask because we learn she is good at everything. Rosamund is cruel. Araminta is worse. Pawsey is kind, but has to hide it. When Araminta and her daughters leave for the ball, Sophie admits she would cherish every second of attending a ball, of feeling like she belonged instead of being invisible. It's Irma and Alfie, her fellow servants, who insist she go. It's a masquerade. She deserves it. Irma calls it Sophie's birthright. And that word, birthright, matters. We rewind again to Sophie's childhood. Lord Penwood introduces his new wife, Araminta, to his ward, Sophie. Araminta instantly knows the truth. She's his illegitimate daughter. She blocks Sophie from lessons. Lord Penwood promises to protect her, and then he dies. At his grave, Araminta tells Sophie she was never loved, that she's not in the will, that her mother was a foolish maid who dreamed too big. It's a lie, but a devastating one. Araminta keeps Sophie fed and clothed by turning her into a servant, invisible. Missed connections and heartbreak. After the ball, Sophie admits she fell in love, knowing it will never go anywhere. Then Benedict arrives at the Penwood house. Sophie watches him through a crack in the door. Alfie begs her to reveal herself. Taylor Swift's Enchanted plays instrumentally. This is the moment, and Sophie walks away. Because Benedict isn't looking for her, he's looking for the lady in silver. She is just a maid. She is nothing. She runs off to scream alone. Araminta strikes back. After the guests leave, Araminta catches Benedict staring at the glove and immediately puts the pieces together. She confronts Sophie, forces her to admit she went to the ball, and when Sophie finally stands up for herself, Araminta fires her and vows she'll never work in Mayfair again. The servants quietly gather money, Pawsey slips Sophie jeweled pins to sell, and Sophie leaves London in a mail carriage. The countryside collision. Weeks later, Benedict wakes up at a countryside estate, hangover and unwell in every possible way. At a party, he witnesses a man harassing a maid. Another maid intervenes. It's Sophie. When the man turns on her, Benedict explodes, physically. He fights him, threatens his life, and gets Sophie fired again. Twice, Benedict almost recognizes her. Twice, he doesn't. Still, he insists on driving her back to London to help her find work. And just like that, they're alone in a carriage together. Around the Ton. Elsewhere, tensions explode between Queen Charlotte and Lady Danbury. Charlotte cruelly dismisses a pregnant lady-in-waiting, insults Lady Danbury, reminds her of her place. Lady Danbury leaves. Weeks later, Charlotte is depressed, withdrawn, barely functioning. Brimsley begs Lady Danbury to return. When she does, Charlotte finally breaks. She's terrified of losing her husband, terrified of being alone. Lady Danbury holds her. I am here. And just like that, Bridgerton delivers one of its most emotional moments yet. So ends episode 2, with missed chances, broken hearts, and fate quietly pulling two people back together. Benedict is searching for a woman who thinks she doesn't deserve to be found, and Sophie Beck is standing right beside him, unseen. But not for long.